In 1896, the world-renowned Louvre Museum unveiled the acquisition of a lifetime solid gold tiara supposedly belonging to an ancient Scythian king. It was a priceless artifact, a masterpiece that promised to rewrite history. There was just one tiny problem. The tiara was a lie. This is the incredible true story of the forgery that fooled the world's greatest experts and became a masterpiece of deception. Section 1. The prize. The late 19th century was a wild time for the art world. Europe was gripped by a full-blown obsession with Greco-Scythian art after magnificent discoveries in ancient Russian tombs. Every major museum was desperate to get its hands on a piece of this glorious past. So, when two art dealers, the brothers Chachal and Lieber Hoffmann, arrived in Paris with something spectacular, the Louvre was all ears. What they presented was a conical helmet of solid gold, weighing just over a pound, its surface covered in breathtakingly intricate scenes. The lower band showed the daily life of the Scythians, hunting, children learning archery, the animals of the steppes. But the upper band was the showstopper, depicting dramatic episodes from Homer's Iliad, with figures like Achilles and Agamemnon captured in exquisite detail. The real kicker, though, was a Greek inscription that read, "The council and citizens of Olbia honor the great and invincible King Saitaphernes." This was the smoking gun. It seemed to confirm an ancient story about the Greek colony of Olbia, which, facing a siege by the fearsome King Saitaphernes, had bought its freedom with priceless gifts. And here, it seemed, was one of those very gifts. The dealers told a story of its discovery by Crimean peasants near an ancient Greek colony in what's now Ukraine. They'd already offered it to the Imperial Court Museum in Vienna and the British Museum, but both had balked at the astronomical price, 200,000 gold French francs. But the Louvre? They saw the opportunity of a lifetime. Fueled by national pride and a fierce rivalry with other museums, they decided this treasure had to be theirs. Despite the massive price, the curators moved fast. On April 1, 1896, yes, April Fool's Day, the Louvre officially announced its acquisition. The Tiara of Saitaphernes went on display, and the world marveled at what was hailed as one of the greatest archaeological finds of the century. Section 2. The cracks in the story. Almost immediately, the whispers started. While the public adored the tiara, a few sharp-eyed experts felt something was off. The first and loudest critic was the German archaeologist Adolf Furtwängler. He published a scathing review, pointing out all the things the Louvre's experts had apparently missed. Furtwängler argued the tiara's style was a chaotic mashup of different historical periods, something you just don't see in a genuine artifact. More damningly, he questioned its condition. How could a 2,000-year-old gold object, buried for centuries, look so perfect? He noted the complete lack of a natural patina, the subtle aging that covers ancient metals. Even more suspiciously, he claimed he could see traces of modern tools and soldering techniques. Another scholar, Russia's Alexander Veselovsky, agreed, publicly declaring it a fake. The Louvre, however, wasn't about to let its new prize be discredited. The museum's authorities fiercely defended the tiara, dismissing Furtwängler's critique as simple nationalistic jealousy, a German trying to spoil a French triumph. They claimed its perfect condition was proof of a miraculous survival, the very thing that made it so special. For 6 years, a bitter war of words raged in the art world. Newspapers took sides, some cheering for the Louvre, others mocking the museum for what could be a monumental blunder. The Louvre stood firm, even preparing a magnificent book dedicated to its prized treasure. But the doubts wouldn't go away. The museum's reputation was on the line, and the answer to the tiara's true origin wouldn't come from a lab, but from a small workshop hundreds of miles away. Section 3. The mastermind. The tiara's story didn't begin in the 3rd century BCE. It began in 1894, in a humble workshop in the bustling port city of Odessa, Russia. This was the home of Israel Rushamovsky, a master goldsmith of extraordinary skill, but not a historian. One day, the Hoffman brothers, the same dealers who charmed the Louvre, walked into his shop with a special commission. They told him they wanted a unique gift for an archaeologist friend, a spectacular piece in the ancient Greco-Scythian style. To help him out, they provided a stack of books filled with illustrations of genuine ancient artifacts from recent excavations. Having no idea of their real plan, Rushomovsky got to work. For months, he painstakingly crafted the tiara, using the books as his guide. In his mind, he wasn't making a forgery, he was taking on the ultimate test of his skill. He soldered the tiara together from 3 separate parts, just as he would later describe. The scenes from the Iliad, the depiction of Scythian life, it all came not from ancient history, but from the pages of 19th century archaeology books. The very thing that made the tiara so believable was exactly what made it a fake. The Hoffmans paid Rushomovsky 2,000 rubles for his masterpiece. A huge sum for the goldsmith, but a drop in the bucket compared to the 200,000 francs they got from the Louvre. Israel Rushomovsky, the creator of the Louvre's greatest ancient treasure, went back to his life, completely unaware that his work was about to become the star of an international scandal. Section 4. The unmasking. The whole thing finally blew up in 1903. A Parisian newspaper, Le Matin, published a letter from a man named Lifshitz, a jeweler from Russia, who claimed to be a friend of Rushomovsky. He swore he had personally seen Rushomovsky making the very tiara that was sitting in the Louvre. The controversy exploded. With the press in a frenzy, the Louvre couldn't hide anymore. They had to act. They summoned Israel Rushomovsky to Paris. Penniless, his journey had to be paid for by the French consulate in Odessa. When the humble goldsmith arrived in Paris on April 5, 1903, he was brought before a panel of grim-faced officials. At first, they were skeptical. How could this unassuming artisan be the creator of such a masterpiece? Rushomovsky calmly told them everything: the commission from the Hoffman brothers, the books they gave him, and how he built the piece. But words weren't enough. The experts still had their doubts. So, they gave him a challenge. They locked Rushomovsky in a workshop at the Louvre with a sheet of gold and some tools and told him to prove it. Under the watchful eyes of the very men he had unintentionally fooled, Rushomovsky sat down and, from memory, perfectly reproduced a section of the tiara's intricate design. There was no more room for doubt. The experts were stunned into silence. They knew they were looking at the true maker of the tiara. The Louvre had been had. Humiliated, the museum was forced to publicly admit its colossal mistake. The Great Tiara of Saitaphernes was officially declared a fake and quietly vanished into storage. Section 5. The aftermath and legacy. The fallout was immense. The Louvre, the most prestigious museum in the world, became a punchline. Satirical postcards mocking the museum and its perfect fake circulated all over Paris. It was a profound embarrassment and a hard lesson in the dangers of pride. But for Israel Rushomovsky, the man at the center of the storm, this was the start of a whole new life. He was no longer an unknown goldsmith from Odessa, he was a celebrity. His name was now synonymous with a level of craftsmanship so brilliant, it had tricked the world's top connoisseurs. That very same year, he won a gold medal at the prestigious Paris Salon of Decorative Arts for another creation, a miniature, fully articulated gold skeleton in a silver sarcophagus. He got commissions from wealthy patrons, like the banker Baron Edmond de Rothschild, and eventually moved his family to Paris, where he lived and worked for the rest of his life. And the tiara? After being hidden away in shame, it eventually came back out. In 1954, the Louvre put it in a special exhibition called the Salon of Fakes, right alongside other famous forgeries. Since then, it's been loaned out to museums around the world, from the Israel Museum in Jerusalem to an exhibition on forgeries in Germany. Today, The Tiara of Saitaphernes isn't just a forgery. It's recognized as a masterpiece of goldsmithing in its own right, and holds the Guinness World Record for the greatest goldsmith fraud of all time. Replicas are on display in the British Museum and the Tel Aviv Museum of Art. It stands as a fascinating object that blurs the line between art and artifice, a beautiful lie that has become a legend. The story of the tiara is more than just a tale about a brilliant fake. It's a story about how we decide what has value, what's authentic, and what is art. It proves that even the greatest experts can be fooled, and that sometimes a lie really can be a work of art. If you enjoyed this story of high-stakes deception, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more dives into history's greatest scandals. Let us know in the comments what other famous forgeries you think we should cover next. Thanks for watching.